10 live wires will be given a unique opportunity to share their creativity with the world and become the next top live wire. I'm your host, Heather Boyd, and this is Live Wires for the Win Season 5. 6 weeks of wire art challenges, countdown to one winner of the grand prize of $100 gift certificate for my Etsy shop, the Top Livewire 2026 trophy, and $200 in wire and tools from Beadalon. Your judges are wire artist Heather Boyd and multimedia artist and author Patricia Srigley. Hello, Live Wires. Welcome to Season 5 of Live Wires for the Win. Welcome to my fellow judge and dear friend, Patricia Srigley. Hi, Patricia. Welcome back.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's season 5. Wow.
I know. I can't believe we've been doing this for 5 years. It's so much fun. Thank you, everybody, for submitting for the competition. As you all know, this is a fun competition where we do have an elimination, but we appreciate everybody's beautiful wire creations. So without further ado, we are just going to plow right in there. And if ever you need any more information about the challenge, if you want to watch previous episodes, I will link everything up in the description below the video. We are going to get started with this week's theme, which is My Life in Wire. I always like doing the first theme so people can introduce themselves a little bit and express themselves through. We are going to get started with Melissa. So Melissa writes, this was certainly a challenge for me. I've never worked with colored wire before or with a wire jig. When I told my husband what the concept was, he made a jig. This ornament frame represents my home state of New Hampshire. The twisted green and blue wires in the middle represent the beautiful combination of trees and lakes in our state. The G-clef vinyl record and eighth note represent our love of music. This is the jig. That's awesome. What a great idea for the jig to create the frame. I love that. I'm going to go through. So here's a nice pic of the whole piece. There's a detail of the blue and the green wire. And there are the notes. Patricia, what do you think of Melissa's piece?
Yeah, I think she has a very nice husband too. Yeah, the work, it's really well done. And I particularly liked the strong contrast between the elements and the outline of the state, like the black and the very light color. It really worked well. And all her elements are formed beautifully. And I really like that little pop of red in the middle of the record. It makes you realize it's, an old record.
I love that part. Yes.
Yeah, very nice work.
No, I agree with you. I love the contrast. It's really cool. She used the black wire and it fits with the vinyl record. That was really unique. Like you read it as a vinyl record right away. I just thought I was really drawn to that little detail. And even the treble clef is really interesting the way she's twisted it. I love that little detail of the twist and the asymmetrical note. It's really cool. And interesting that she used the color wire to be more symbolic about the lakes and the trees in her state. So overall, yeah, I thought it was a really great piece. Really enjoyed it. Congratulations, Melissa. Christine writes, this butterfly is both wrapped and soldered to show the tribulation that this creature must go through to become beautiful. It resonates with my life because I've had to go through a lot of trauma and live anyways. What a lovely tribute and a lovely symbolic piece. Photo, it was a little hard to see the full butterfly, but it looks like it's three-dimensional. And lots of really cool details. The weaving is lovely, really unusual to solder. We didn't have any kind of rules about soldering or not. Nobody's ever soldered before, but this piece could be made with just twisted wire as well. But it's kind of an interesting look with the solder. It's a very solid, massive, strong piece. Very, very well made, very lovely. And Patricia, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, again, I really liked the swirl pattern, which it's reminiscent of, the decorative elements on butterfly wings. And it really radiated strength. And butterflies, as fragile as they have to be very strong. And, some of them make a journey right across the country
Yeah.
and with their very fragile wings. So, yeah, I felt this really emphasized the strength of the butterfly.
Next, we have Connie. And Connie writes, the theme My Life in Wire. It is my faith represented by the tree in the Garden of Eden to the open tomb in the corner. My faith was my career and still my vocation. The smaller symbols are things that I do as an extension of my faith. Heart for family, apple for teaching, music note for singing and guitar, paintbrush for art, paw for my dog Peanut, and leaves for nature. There's the frame. I love that twisted wire frame. I think it's really gives it a nice organic feel to it. It's not like stiff. And then she's added her details, different color wires. It's lovely, the different colors of wire uh, that give it a bit of a contrast, and they're all kind of natural colors. I love these little mountains in the back. Then she's added her leaves and notes and apple, the heart, the paw, super cool. It's a beautiful piece, Connie. I love the simplicity of the tree. Sometimes people make trees with tons and tons of details. I like just the tree as sort of a stand for all her symbolic elements, which are really nicely made, and the colorful wire is really beautiful. I love the different tones in the tree. The way she created the open tomb at the bottom is very unique and very strong. I love the way she made the contrast show up well with the black wire woven back and forth, and then the spiral of the silver wire that looks infinite. Like just a really beautiful cohesive piece. Patricia, what do you think of Connie's piece?
Same as what you've said, and I did like how the outline of the square was very organic, like tangled roots or branches, and the variety of colors she used has really made things pop. I guess I sort of, in my imagination, I thought of this as sort of her Christmas tree
Mm,
because the all the little elements are like decorations hanging in the tree. That made me think
true.
of a Christmas tree. Yeah, and I really appreciated all the different colors and even the layout. It's very painterly with the
Yes.
landscape in the background and everything's balanced within the square. Yeah, very
Yes.
beautiful.
Beautiful piece, Connie. Congratulations. Next, we have Julie, and Julie writes, the inspiration for this piece was from the peacock tattoo on my foot. I got the tattoo when I was accepted in college to always remind me to put my best foot forward. So here's some of the elements of Julie's piece. I particularly loved these details in the tail. It's subtle when you look at the whole piece, but I thought they were really well done. And then all the details in the body. There's the whole piece and on the dark background. Let's bring it back to the white background. Patricia, what did you think of Julie's piece?
Oh, well, it's very beautiful and it gives sort of the illusion of simplicity, but when you look at all the details, it really isn't. And as you commented on the tail, those little swirls like the eyes of a peacock's feathers, eh, that makes me think of those and that nice little concentration of detail in the middle really makes the design work.
It's a very graceful piece, and the little pops of detail make it read very well as a peacock. I love the little bit on the head, the little feathers on the head, and the swirls and the weaving. And my eye just is always drawn down to those details in the tail. It's just a really lovely design and a beautiful silhouette and a nice symbolic piece. Great job, Julie. Next, we have Wendy, and Wendy writes, I went with something that means a lot to me, the heart with the infinity symbol. The heart with the infinity represents me and my love for jewelry making. When you start with just a string of wire and bending it, it becomes something beautiful. Also, considering that it's the day after Valentine's, it seems it's only appropriate to make a heart to show my love to everyone. I hope you like it. Wendy sent an in progress piece of the heart. I always like to see the in progress pieces. So Wendy did a really beautiful piece. It's very well crafted. The chain is super solid. I like that it's a nice finished jewelry piece. And the heart is really lovely. I love the details that she did with the weaving around the heart, how it has the little loop at the bottom and then it comes around and she's woven two pieces of wire together and then brought it in to create the infinity sign. I think it's a really lovely piece. Definitely something that I would wear. It's really, really pretty. And the gold is nice. It's a nice, rich color. Really pops on the red background too. Yeah, it looks really lovely. Patricia, what do you think of Wendy's piece?
Very clean and precise and beautifully made. And even the links in the chain are very regular and even, which is nice. And I noted the same thing as you. I love that little almost teardrop at the bottom of the heart, that one little extra detail. And the
Yes.
weaving is so regularly and beautifully done on the heart.
And I love the infinity sign in the heart. It
Mhm.
just works really well. It's and nice symbolism. Great job, Wendy. Next, we have Sharon, and Sharon writes, I'm so glad to be part of Live Wires for the Win again. Now, if you guys don't already know, Sharon has been in every single season of Live Wires for the Win, and her work has really evolved over the years. The theme was another test to my wanting to tell everyone everything about me, or do I go with the less is more approach? I believe this sculpture I've created is a happy medium. Music is pretty much my life. So that is where the treble clefs come in. I took a page from Tim Rentz, as I often have, and made one of the clefs with a uniform weave of 18 and 22 gauge copper wire that he used in his work. The little pops of color located around the 16 gauge hammered copper wire, larger treble clef, are, of course, representative of my three children and my grandson. I twisted some silver aluminum wire and hammered that as well to make a base for the treble clefs to lean on. There's some details with the little pieces that represent her kids and her grandkids. Here's the back. Patricia, what do you think of Sharon's piece?
I really liked the linear design of how she linked the two treble clefs. It makes a beautiful, graceful, swirling pattern with all the curving lines of both treble clefs. And the pops of color really add to it. I found it was a really original design, her linear design, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, this piece is so Sharon. I really love it. I love, Sharon, how your work has evolved. How sweet to have a shout out to Tim Rentz. And for those who don't know, Tim was a huge member of our wire community, and he actually was the winner of Live Wires for the Win Season 1. I'll link up the Season 1 in the description below so you can check out his work and everybody's work from the previous seasons. Unfortunately, we lost Tim, and it's nice to have a little memory of him in this piece. And so the woven treble clef is spectacular. I love the echo of the treble clef in the larger silhouette piece with the little nods to her kids and her grandkids, and it's a really fun piece. I know Sharon likes to put a lot of detail in her pieces, but I really feel that this is a nice middle spot for you with that has lots of details, but yet not too much. And I love the stand. I think it's a great idea, and it's nice to have a piece that's practical that it stands. So great job, Sharon. Next, we have Linda, and Linda writes, I made a house where I've been snowed in this winter. My world is my Multi-Poo Milo, my husband Ralph, and myself. The tree of life represents my family. Some are gone, spring is coming, and I will enjoy the flowers in pots on the deck. So we just have the one picture from Linda, and she has a lot of details in there. So she's done the silhouette of the house, and she's got the tree. She has, I think it's Lamry on the bottom, if that's a family name, and the little figures, just very simple figures, but very sweet. And she's got a lot of fun detail. The little flower, it's very loose and organic and a nice nod to nature. I can relate to being stuck in the house in the winter with the snow. Spring is coming, which is something to look forward to, but there's a lot of fun stuff in this piece. I love the colors. Great job, Linda. Patricia, what do you think of Linda's piece?
I felt it really told her story. And as you mentioned, the all the lively, sketchy lines are beautiful. They have so much movement and life to them. The variety of colors she's used helps define each of the separate elements. Otherwise, it might be difficult to see them, but the different colors help. And the people, as simply as they're done, they're two people. I
Mhm.
think my favorite thing was the tree at the top
Yes.
and how the branches seem to be holding on tight to the
Mhm.
edge of the framing. That tree's just going to hang on no matter what.
Yeah, the tree is great. I love it. Great job, Linda. Next, we have Mustafa. And Mustafa writes, for this week's theme, My Life in Wire, I created a 6-inch freestanding wire sculpture that represents my personal journey as an 18-year-old design student who moved away from home to pursue his dreams. Now, Mustafa's written a very detailed description of his piece. I'm going to link it up in the description below that you can still see. Here we have Mustafa's house is very lovely, stylized. It stands up. Super cool. I love the house. And here's his cityscape. I also love that. It's very simply done,
Oh.
stands well, just with a bunch of rectangles. You could totally read it as a big city. Here's the full piece that shows the house, the figure, and then the cityscape. I love how the figure looks like a transformer, like it just is so symbolic in a way that it's him being very strong, leaving his house and going to the big city to pursue his dreams. It's so cool. The Transformer figure is spectacular. Mustafa has done figures like this in the past with the wound wire like that, and they're always very effective and very powerful. It gives it a solidity, and then there's the heart that's superimposed with the different colors. So with the contrasting colors, you can really see the details. I just love the piece as a whole. I think it's very well thought out. I think he included so many elements, and his very articulate description was really appreciated as well. Patricia, what do you think of Mustafa's piece?
I feel this strongly really does illustrate his journey, as he said in his write-up, of the three main elements, the house, the city, and Mustafa. Like they could each stand alone, but he
Yes.
linked them with this simple path of wire at the feet of the figure himself. And I like how he's the most solid element because it is his journey. The simplicity of the linear house is just beautiful. And the city, it's simple, but it's a city. Yeah, I think it's a really beautiful piece. Well done.
Good job, Mustafa.
I feel this strongly really does illustrate his journey, as he said in his write-up.
Next, we have Amy B. And Amy B writes, I was a little hesitant to send such a simple piece as week one submission, but it's very symbolic to my journey. This is one of my signature rings that I make. It's been a tried and true design that I'm proud of. Like me, it looks delicate, but is actually quite sturdy. It's copper, so it will naturally tarnish over time. We all tarnish with age. It came from humble beginnings, just two pieces of wire poetically wrapped to form a lovely flower to sit on someone's hand. I love to see the possibility of twirling a wire this way or that way to secure a particular design and to see the reaction and delight from others. Wire is my life, twists and turns with some chaos here and there, and hopefully ending up where I want to be, a pile of scrap wire to prove there's always room for improvement. Here's my double-banded copper wire rose ring.
As Amy said, it is a simple design, but she's done it so beautifully and professionally. And I really like the density of all the wire. A flower, it's fragile, but this is a beautiful, strong flower. And I like the double ring as well, the double band. So I think it's really a beautiful piece.
Amy's been in the competition before, and her work is very lovely. It's very well made and very well crafted. I like that she's added a very detailed description to the work because a lot of these pieces are very personal, and it's not obvious to get the sort of the idea behind the work. I mean, a rose is very symbolic, the delicacy of the rose. This piece is a very strong piece and beautifully made, very beautifully made, and I really appreciate her thoughtful description of the work. Good job, Amy. Next, we have Amy C. And Amy C is another alumni of Live Wires for the Win. And she wrote, I love making wire and jewelry. It's like a beautiful butterfly coming from a cocoon and showing how beauty can be made from something I made with my hands and that I can create something beautiful for people to love too. Butterflies mean transformation and growth. And every time I do wire, art, or jewelry, there's always this transformation that happens. In my wired life, I am always changing, transforming, and growing to better at what I do with my wire art and jewelry. Also, I improve my life with the lessons I've learned in my wired life through making jewelry, and art out of wire is just like a beautiful butterfly. Amy did a lovely job. I love Amy's creativity and her nice, loose wire work. The necklace band is really cool too. She's done a bunch of loops, but then she's strung it through with some other wire. It's a really unique necklace band. And the cocoon looks very cocoony. It's very convincing the way she's spun the wires around. She's got thinner wires. It's very, very detailed, very cool. And then the butterfly shows up well because it's a contrasting blue color. She really looks like she's coming out of that cocoon. It's really very effective the way she's made the design so the cocoon actually goes over parts of the butterfly. I really love that element itself. That would almost work as a piece on its own. You almost don't need the rest of the piece to make it a convincing wire art sculpture in itself. And then she's added the little spiral earrings to make a complete set. I think it's a lovely piece. It's very well thought out and just lovely to look at.
I did like that she used two colors of wire for the chain. I thought that was a really nice touch. And same as you, like blue is such an ideal color for a butterfly, and she's picked the perfect blue. Like I've seen butterflies that color.
Hmm.
And the color really makes it show up from the cocoon, especially liked how you could see the butterfly through parts of the cocoon and adding the earrings and the density of the cocoon. It's just a beautiful piece.
Good job, Amy. Next, we have Evelyn, and Evelyn writes, living at my home are three generations, my 92-year-old mom, my son, 26, and me, 62. We are all artists. My life is filled with artwork. So here is the detail in Evelyn's work of the tree in the frame. And she's made an easel, a freestanding easel. And there we have another look of the frame on the easel, and then one a little further away.
It looks like a much bigger piece than it is until you see it in the photo with the roll of wire, and you realize it's not as big as it looked. So it's amazing that she's made all this detail, and it's quite small. And the painting looks like a really lovely little linear painting with the two different colors of wire. The easel is lovely. It's constructed like a real easel, and then she's got the beautiful landscapey painting on there. The lines are just beautiful, how loose they are. And I like how she has the base of the tree coming out as two separate roots.
Hmm.
Yeah, and all that little detail of the wound wire in between the roots. Yeah, it's just a really original and beautifully made piece.
I particularly liked her tree design because there are a lot of people that make wire trees, but this one is so interesting and simple. It looks like the bottom part is almost like a loop of wires that she's wound with a separate piece of wire rather than winding each one along the bottom. And just knowing how wire things are made, I could see, making a loop and then like twisting it and then attaching it and spreading out the branches. I really feel the movement in the piece, and I love her little added delicate silver foliage on it, how she's added that. That looks really different to me. I haven't seen the leaves added like that quite like that. I really like the way that's done and that it's done in a contrasting wire. And then at the top she has the more spirally. So I really focused on this aspect of the work. Even the bale at the top looks really cool. That part I just love even on its own, but then putting it on the easel just brings it up another level to have a way to display it and to have it stand. So I just thought it was beautiful. Great job, Evelyn. Thank you to everyone who voted for their favorite creation this week and left such lovely feedback for the live wires. I'll put a link in the description of the video where you can see photos of all the creations and read all the lovely feedback for each of the participants. And without further ado, the viewer's choice for week 1 of season 5 of Live Wires for the Win is Christine. Thank you, Christine, for sharing your beautiful butterfly, and congratulations on being the viewer's choice this week. And now comes the fun part where we have to choose who will be going on to week 2 and who will not be returning next week. But don't forget, we are bringing back the wild card. So even if you're not going to be back next week, you will still have a chance to participate in the finale. Now we are going to give our top 3 to see who is the top live wire for week 1 of Live Wires for the Win. Patricia, who were your top 3 for this week?
Always difficult because it's all such beautiful work, and each one has value in its own special aspects. So my
Yeah.
top 3 are Julie, Wendy, and Amy B.
Okay. And yes, I agree. This is a very hard part of the competition, but it is the nature of the type of show that this is. There is value in all of the work. Funnily enough, Patricia and I have very different opinions in what appeals to us, but all the work has a lot of value, and there's interesting aspects to all of it, whether it be the concept behind it, the craftsmanship, the creativity. There's so many things that go into making a piece of art. My top 3 for week 1 are Evelyn, Mustafa, and Sharon. Just a little note about the voting process. We've ranked the works from 1 to 11, and when we tabulate the scores, we come up with the top live wire and the 2 that will still be eligible for the wild card. We've come up with a winner, and the winner for week 1 is, drum roll please, Julie! Yay! Congratulations, Julie. You really put your best foot forward for this challenge, and we loved your peacock and all the little fun details. So now comes the hard part where we have to choose who will not be returning next week. This is not goodbye because there's still a chance to become the wild card choice to return for the finale. The 2 participants that will not be returning next week are Amy C. and Linda. Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing your beautiful creations. We will be sending you the themes each week. If you continue with the challenges, you'll still be eligible to return for the finales in the wild card challenge. Thank you so much, Patricia, for being a judge for yet another season of Live Wires for the Win.
I enjoy it. It's lovely to see all the beautiful work.
Everybody stay tuned for voting for next week on Monday and episode 2 next Wednesday. Thank you, everybody, for your amazing participation, and we'll see you the next time. Bye.
Bye.